Hi, in this screencast we're going to go through how to do our first commit and push. So what I want to start with is I want to make an update in my document. For example, I have an answer for exercise 1. This is my answer for exercise 1 and I'm pretty sure it's correct. Alright, and I want to then delete the existing instructions there as well and assume that this is what I wanted. Let me also knit my document to make sure that my answer looks exactly how I want it to look. And it's looking pretty good. Okay, so let's say that this is a checkpoint where I actually want to commit my changes. What I'm going to do is go to the Git pane here, and let's take a look at the diff of this document, our Markdown document. Diff meaning that it is a difference between what I started with and the current state of the document. It looks like I've made 2 changes. One of them was changing the date, and the other one was changing the exercise. The changing the date is something I had done prior to starting the video. So I want to commit these changes, and what I want to do is I actually want to commit any changes to the resulting HTML along with it, because even though I manually did not update that file or edit that file, when I knit my document with the changes, that also got changed as well. So I'm going to commit these 2 together, and I want to write an informative, short but informative commit message. So let's say added answer for exercise 1. I commit this change. Now currently this commit has been recorded in my Git history. However, this commit is something that's happening only locally right now. So if I was to go to my GitHub repository, so let's go ahead and find that repository. This was my repository. You can see that those changes do not appear here yet because I haven't actually pushed my changes to GitHub. So what I want to do is I actually want to push my changes. And because that is something that's happening over the network, it's going to ask me to authenticate. I type my username and my password. I think I typed it right. So now the changes are pushed. Now that the changes are pushed, nothing is remaining here. And if I was to go back and take a look at my repository, just refresh this page, you can see that latest commit was about a minute ago, so happened in the last minute. Add an answer for exercise 1, and I can see that same diff here associated with my name. One thing that's going to happen is every time you're doing a commit, every time you're doing a push, it's going to ask you to authenticate again with your username and password, which I understand can get quite annoying over time. For this particular assignment for the first lab, you're only asked to do this a few times, and you are indeed going to be asked to type in your username and password each time. However, later in the class, we are going to learn about how to save our password there because it certainly can get annoying, especially if you're mistyping your password. But for now, we want you to be able to pause and think for a second, is this a good place to be committing and pushing? And if so, what message do I want to write here? So it gives you kind of a pause to think about what you've done so far and what's going to come up next.